So the NBA has finally announced a new policy that me and a lot of people have been waiting for. The NBA has announced a policy that bans two-star players from resting in the same game, and a star will be defined as someone who has made a All-Star or All-NBA team in the past 3 seasons. So pretty much GG to the Clippers because they have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who for some reason cannot stay out of injuries. And ultimately what this will be meaning is actually when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are actually healthy and should be playing, they're not just going to be being rested to protect them from those potential injuries. And something that I really do think for the Clippers, their approach to the whole resting Kawhi Leonard and Paul George thing hasn't done anything for them at all. We don't actually know what's going on with Kawhi Leonard in terms of him, not being on the floor. Part of it is because he actually did get injured, but there's sometimes where he's just not on the floor just because he's getting rested, and Paul George. And I think that has costed the Clippers a lot, because I think even there were times in the playoffs where Kawhi Leonard could have played, but they're like, yeah, we're not going to play him because we don't want the injuries to happen. And that has cost them a lot. And honestly, this will mean that we probably will be seeing Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and stars like that in the league more. And rightfully so. I don't understand why, teams have that approach of just resting players like that. Now, moving on to, the other thing that the NBA has announced relating to this, the NBA says that players that are older than 35, such as LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and other, will actually be able to bypass this policy from approval of the league. And I think that's the right approach, because some of these players that are 40 years old, you got to get your rest in at that point. LeBron's 40, he's 45,000 years old. So I don't see that as something that is bad. I think that is the right move for the NBA. I think Adam Silver is doing the right thing. And Adam Silver actually said that, this is an 82-game league, and he expects players to play if they're healthy. He's really buckling down on this whole approach right here. He made the mid-season tournament, and he also said, science doesn't back players resting, which from the jump, that to me at least, there was no way that resting was actually improving wins or anything to any of these teams that they do it on. Anthony Davis just not playing or whatever really hasn't done much for the Lakers. They did win a championship in 2020, but other than that, what have they done? You know what I'm saying? They really haven't done shit. And for Adam Silver to actually say that that's just, it's crazy. It pretty much means that going forward, we're not going to be seeing players that are just on the bench. And I really think that's a good move. And really moving on to the mid-season tournament, what do I feel about that? Now, honestly, the mid-season tournament is going to be something that is very interesting, because the mid-season tournament, we obviously know how the championships, they're very reflective on an NBA player's career. Will the mid-season tournament be something that is very competitive? Now that players are not going to be able to be resting, they're going to have to be playing in the midseason tournament. Is that something where players are actually going to try? We do know you actually trying to do something could result in an injury. I'm not saying resting is the best thing to do in these midseason tournaments, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to be highly competitive. And because of that reason, injuries are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So will NBA players purposely not try in these midseason tournaments, just kind of save their energy from the actual championship? That's something that I really think is going to happen, because this mid-season tournament ultimately does not mean anything. But at the same time, bringing it back to my point of being reflective on NBA players' careers, will that be something in the future where people say, oh, I have 5 mid-season tournament championships, I'm better than LeBron, or something? That would actually be really cool to see. Now that we have 2 different things going on in the NBA, we have a tournament and a championship. That would be really fun to say, the mid-season tournament MVP and all the other things. Ultimately, I think that Adam Silver is doing the best thing for the NBA. You can hate him all you want for the other shit that he's done. But I think that Adam Silver is the best commissioner that the NBA has had by far. He really does things in a very logical and very scientifical way. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do things where it's just a strict thing. He goes by the rule. He really he's really moving on to the future of the NBA and actually trying to keep some of the the rules and the principles with the NBA, and not just turn it into a league where, you know, NBA players are just becoming like, want to just start doing music and other stuff. He wants the NBA to become a league where players are just playing basketball. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel about this. I think this is a great move for the NBA. I think that ultimately it's just gonna further help the NBA out. Ratings might even go up. And I think they should find players if they somehow find out that players are faking an injury, because there is absolutely no way that players last season were having some of these crazy injuries, like randomly just having some like illnesses or randomly having like sore backs, like kind of like how Ben Simmons was doing things. It's got to be a fake injury. And I'm sure there's many different players in the NBA that are going to be faking injuries. So maybe that's something where the doctor has to confirm the injury or something now going forward, because there's a lot of different injuries or said injuries or personal reasons or stuff that haven't really been backed by any people. Just kind of just saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be sitting out today because I got my personal injury or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about things. What do you guys think? Put it down in the comments down below. Do not forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications. Comment out something funny down below, and I will be ordering you a chocolate chip cookie. With that being said, though, it's your boy Justin the Arch, and I'm out.